Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Superdome in downtown New Orleans.
Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the New Orleans Saints. Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and we are underway from the Superdome.
And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6. Now second and 4. On play action. Winston.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Johnson the intended target, and it's 3rd and 4.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Jameis to throw it.
He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, on third down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage. Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Off the play fake, Winston. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jarvis Landry, 56 yards. And the Saints put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Waddle will return this from the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. To win, the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at their own 18. They'll start on the ground with Edmonds. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
And that's caught inside the 30.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use momentum to launch another one.
They'll run on first down, Edmonds. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Here's Tua. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tagovailoa going for it on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down, and the Saints will have the football back. I guess they wanted to get that touchdown right back on their first drive, but failed to do so.
And what they have to be careful of is pushing so hard to stay right there, to stay even with their opponent, that they gas themselves out. You know, it's almost like horse racing. Sometimes you don't want to take your horse right to the front and let him do all the work, and then someone catch him at the end and pass him up. You want to make sure you moderate what you're doing along the way and then go for the big finish.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Again, it's Kamara. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup, first down, New Orleans.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Play action now, Winston. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. Second down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Play fake. Winston. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just one first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field. And he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through it. So, okay. There you go. Hey, no steal.
On second down, this is Edmonds. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a way to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that one. He read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Edmonds running out of the shotgun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Not an easy spot here. He'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, they moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to get them out to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. On the return, Hardy. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. That's a punt return of 89 yards. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
When you got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. It's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they miss-hit the ball and kick it right to him.
What's good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. Waddle will return this from the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Now here's a throw that's complete. His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up 3rd down now. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. In search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Tua going to throw. That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch. 25 yards that time.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill, 46 yards. And the Dolphins have got it back to within a score. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make our score 14-7. Dolphins 7. Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And some room to maneuver. And they will finally haul him down at the Dolphins' 18.
85 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
And you hear it all the time, but that's one of the dangers of the blitz. You get past that first wave, nobody else is there.
And when teams blitz, what they're trying to do is make you lose your poise, lose your timing, and your...
Touchdown, Saints! Alvin Kamara, an 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Saints will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Waddle will return this from the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. Meanwhile, Tua's throws taken in by Waddle.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now, you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now, with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep with the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. This is caught. Touchdown! Cedric Wilson in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. 1 second, all that remains.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Both teams going through their final halftime adjustments. We're about ready to get back to football. And to bring you the second half from the Superdome, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
And And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. Waddle will return this from the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try to cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
To his throw, caught by his receiver, Hill. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 49-yard line.
From just shy of midfield. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Alontae Taylor.
It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop it.
All about the offense so far in this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. Second and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And that is incomplete. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half. Still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. When you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line.
104 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
They go play action. Winston. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he stopped immediately there.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run it again with Kamara. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Winston now. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Got it? 52 blaster.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Tua. And he's got his tight end, Gesicki, in the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins. From 21 yards away. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying this game here in the fourth.
forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. Taken at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw, Winston. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And some room to work. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 129 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
I was used to joke with my teammates who carried the ball a lot. When we got in these situations and they were carrying us home, I used to tell them, boy, you guys just look like Paul Bunyan, just growing stronger, bigger, tougher, and all night long he's carried this team.
He has indeed. Everything magnified right now. A huge 3rd down conversion. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. Dancing away at the 35. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. The toss right. This is Ingram. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mark Ingram, 33 yards. And the Saints answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced a 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
Waddle will return this from the end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
is at the line ready for their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Two to throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints have just about sewn up this football game.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his 2nd interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 165 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.